Yes, good evening. So, welcome to Economy UPSC orientation session. So, online students, so any issue or anything you want to get clarified, you can text. Okay, I can see it. So, welcome to Vishnu IAS and myself, I'm Vishnu Reddy. I have been teaching economy for last 10 years for UPSC aspirants since 2015. So, in this class, I will be giving a brief idea and overview about why economy is kept in the UPSC syllabus, why one should know about economy, what are the various chapters which are there in prelims perspective, what are the various chapters which are mentioned in mains perspective, what should be a candidate approach towards economy. Okay, dear. So if you look at in general studies paper 1, to be specific, in general studies paper 1 in GS, so invariably in prelims around 15 to 20 questions are being asked from economy. And in mains, GS paper 3, general studies paper 3, economy around 140 plus marks are being asked. So coming to the weightage of the subject called economy, in prelims around 15 to 20 questions, range of the questions in the prelims, and in mains in GS paper 3, roughly around 140 plus marks are being asked from economy. First clarification. So just let me know, why do you think a civil servant is supposed to know about economy? Anyone reply? Why should we know about economy? First of all, what is economy? I'll explain. Why economy is kept in the syllabus also I'll explain. Anyone reply? Kiran, Syed, Bhargavi, Pratap. So why should we know about economy? Any idea? To use the resources, sir. Okay, we want to use the resources in the best possible manner. Very good. What else? What else could be the reason and logic why government has kept economy in the syllabus, or UPSC has kept economy in the syllabus? Practically tomorrow, when you are being posted as an officer, we want to know the growth position of our country, sir. Very good. Margavi is saying, sir, we want to know the growth position of our country. Very good. Nice. What else? Anybody else? Tomorrow, when you are posted in any department as a government officer, you are given certain resources. So, with that limited resources, you have to address so many challenges which are faced by the public. So, tomorrow, when you're posted as a district collector, so for your district development, say around 100 crores is allocated. So, you have to allocate that 100 crore most judicious way where public and aspirations, goals, needs are met. Some villages urgently need road connectivity. Some villages need hospitals. Some villages need water connectivity. So, how well you manage the limited economic resources available for the public welfare? That is the reason why economy is kept in the syllabus broadly. Not only for UPSC exam, in life also, tomorrow when you become an officer, when you're supposed to manage the limited resources available to satisfy unlimited needs and wants, economy subject will help us. Okay? So similarly, when you are posted in any department, at any level as an officer, your economy knowledge will help you in picking up the right decisions, choosing the right opportunities, and taking up the right decisions so that public welfare and welfare policies are addressed properly. Okay, dear? Coming to economy syllabus as such. See, first clarification, we need to understand that in UPSC, in prelims, I'm talking about prelims syllabus, economy. So it is mentioned that economic growth development in India. So prelims specific, if we look at the syllabus broadly, economic growth development in India. So look at the broader terms, but let's try to understand the wider meaning of the terminology. Economic growth, development in India. So which means in prelims, if you decode the wording called economic growth and development in India, and if you look at previous year prelims questions, roughly there are 150 to 200 economy words, and you're supposed to know the correctly, logically, scientifically meaning of the term and meaning of the concept. Now, what do you mean by the meaning of the word and meaning of the concept? It's not enough if you just by heart that. You need to understand how that particular terminology came and what are its implications. And when you read a paper, you should be able to comprehend what you are reading. So for prelims, I would say around 150 to 200 words, correct meaning we have to understand, concepts you have to understand. And what is suggested for UPSC prelims is, first we have to cover basic terminology of NCERTs. After that, topic wise, for each topic, the basic terms to advanced terms, correct meaning of the word we need to understand. We should not by heart it, we should try to understand it, correlate it, comprehend it, and correctly understand the context in which the word or the meaning has implications also. So, I would say for UPSC prelims, it is around 100 to 150 words, meaning terminology correctly we are supposed to understand. Sir, if you just know the meaning of the terms, is it enough, sir? No, not enough, dear. We should follow CCC approach for economy. So what is CCC approach, sir? Concepts. Understand the basic concepts correctly. Plus, current affairs. In the last 1 year in the newspapers, any current affairs related to specific topics or specific words. Plus, contemporary data. When I say contemporary data, no need to by heart the data of so many pages. Budget summary, economic survey summary. So these three we should follow. Basic concepts you need to understand. After that, current affairs of that economy syllabus of the last 1 year, plus contemporary data, summary of budget and summary of economic survey. So this is what is expected for prelims year. Now coming to mains, economy specific, when we talk about mains, you should be able to understand holistically a concept, and you should be able to comprehend from multiple dimensions, and you should be able to write the relevant according to the core demand of the question. So if you observe the previous year mains questions trends in GS paper 3, if you observe previous year prelims questions trend for the last 10 years in UPSC, the broadly economy syllabus can be categorized into various chapters. So once again I am saying there is a disclaimer. So there are so many people who are saying that this is a prelims topic, this is a mains topic. In reality, in my opinion, or after looking at this year UPSC mains questions, so there is nothing called prelims topic, there is nothing called mains topic. So question can come from any chapter in the prelims, question can come from any chapter from the mains also. But there are some chapters for which more weightage is given in the mains. So it does not mean that we'll completely ignore that particular chapter for the prelims, we'll completely ignore that particular chapter for the mains. No, it is not an academic exam. First, a disclaimer, if anybody is telling this is a prelims topic, this is a mains topic, UPSC is proving again and again and again, nothing like that there. The prelims question can come from any topic, mains question also can come from any topic. So what an aspirant is supposed to do, sir? First, start the preparation with basic terminology. Anyway, we'll be starting the regular classes with NCERT terminology only. After completing NCERT terminology, should we read all the NCERT books, sir? Not required, because microeconomics is not there in UPSC syllabus. First of all, economics is not there in the UPSC syllabus. What is there is actually economy. Means application of the economic principles is what is there, but not microeconomic theories, charts, diagrams, so some theorems, derivatives. These are not there in UPSC syllabus, dear. First clarification, economics is not there. economy is there. Only application part of the principles of the economy is called as economy. So first clarification, should we read all the NCERT, sir? Not required here. NCERT microeconomics is not there in UPSC syllabus. Only macroeconomics is there. That too, not every page from economy perspective I am talking about. Every page in NCERT book is relevant for UPSC. So at the end of each chapter, glossary or terminology is there. That glossary or terminology is what is required for us. Okay, first clarification, what is there in the syllabus? What is that UPSC expecting from us? Now coming to a candidate's integrated preparation approach. What is the meaning of integrated preparation approach, sir? Every chapter, every topic, we supposed to prepare from integrated mains cum prelims approach. So at the end of each topic, I will be telling these are the previous year mains questions. So while during the discussion of the regular class itself, I'll be explaining these are the previous year prelims questions. So we are solving previous year prelims questions. We are also looking at previous year mains questions. You will get a holistic idea about every topic. So first, I told you what is the importance of economy in prelims, importance of economy in the mains. Now, let me explain briefly what is the economy syllabus which is mentioned when you decode the last previous year 10-year prelims questions, last 10-year previous year mains questions. So if you look at economy syllabus, broadly for both integrated mains cum prelims preparation, I have divided them into different blocks. So one of the very fundamental block for any aspirant which is supposed to know is actually national income, inflation, monetary policy, types of money, financial market, and banking. So I will be giving overview of each of these chapters also and some of the expected things for prelims also, mains also. So we'll get a rough clarity. So I told you in prelims, we're expecting conceptual clarity rather than simply by hearting. Never and ever try to by heart any concept in economy. Try to understand the meaning of the term correctly. So in national income chapter, if you observe the previous year prelims questions, the trend is that regularly repeated questions are asked from the definition of the concept of national income, measurement of national income, GDP, GNP, NDP, NNP. In GDP definition, domestic economic territory, what is included, what is excluded, comparison between GDP and GNP, types of income, methods of estimation of national income, income method, expenditure method, production method, and business cycles, boom, slowdown, recession, depression, recovery and types of recovery. So examiner is interested when you are reading the newspaper, you are coming across this word boom, slowdown, recession, depression, recovery, GDP, GNP, NDP, NNP, factor cost, basic price, market price, labor force, workforce, so nominal GDP, real GDP, potential GDP, green GDP. So if you understand the meaning of these words correctly, you will be able to attempt the prelims questions. So national income is a very core chapter in economy because all other chapters are ultimately interlinked and intertwined with a chapter called national income. So from the national income, what type of mains questions were asked in the previous exam, sir? See, if you look at the previous year mains questions from national income chapter, what are the methods of estimation of national income and limitations? What are the limitations of estimation of national income? Meaning, what are positives, what are negatives, what are the challenges in estimation of national income? Third, what are the changes that happen in estimation of national income from 2015. What are the changes that happened in estimation of national income from 2015? Then one regular repeated mains question from national income related aspect, every year question is repeated, is called as inclusive growth. What is inclusive growth? Why despite 70 years of India's independence, we are not able to achieve inclusive growth? So, Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas, Sabka Prayas, Sabka Vishwas, is it just a word or can it be materialized in the future? So, different dimensions. Why despite 70 years of India's independence, still poverty and unemployment exist? So, these are the broader perspectives from which questions are asked from mains. From national income, I explained how in prelims, what are the terminology related to prelims and what are the mains themes from which questions are being asked. Sometimes examiner might touch upon data questions also from budget and economic survey, like evaluate sectoral changes in national income estimation for the last 5 years, meaning primary sector, secondary sector, service sector. What are these sectorals contribution? Which sector is contributing more? Which sector is contributing less? Why change is happening in certain sector, but why change is not happening in certain sector? Demographic dividend, so green GDP, these are the recent current affairs. Then estimation of GDP alone is not the indicator of economic growth. So economic development, gross national happiness index, human development index, multi-dimensional poverty index. So different alternatives evolved for estimation of economic growth. So in brief, from national income chapter, this is the prelims expected themes and mains expected themes. Now coming to second important chapter which we talked about, inflation. So generally we used to consider this as a prelims topic, but for the last 2 to 3 years, in mains also direct questions are being asked from inflation chapter. What is cost? What is price? What is demand? What is supply? What are various types of goods? Free good, economic good, luxurious goods, Veblen goods, staple goods, impulse goods, and complementary goods, substitutes. How price demand theory is working in reality? Why prices of certain commodities are increasing? Why prices of certain commodities are decreasing? When prices are increasing, is it because of supply reason? Is it because of demand side reason? So these are basic terminology related to inflation chapter. But from inflation chapter, from prelims perspective, regular repeated themes are types of inflation, so such as headline inflation, core inflation. So types of inflation based on causes, monetary inflation, so greedflation, stagflation, skewflation, reflation, deflation, disinflation. So these are the basic terminology. And types of inflation based on growth rate, creeping inflation, walking inflation, running inflation, galloping inflation, hyperinflation. And types of inflation based on primary cause, cost push inflation, demand pull inflation, wage price spiral, such as. So these terms we supposed to know, because if you look at previous year prelims question, what is the difference between headline inflation and core inflation? So what are the reasons for growing food inflation in India? So if you look at inflation indexes also are very much important for both prelims and mains. Wholesale price index, consumer price index. Who releases wholesale price index? Who releases consumer price index? What is the weightage of articles in wholesale price index? What is the weightage of article in consumer price index? Inside again the basket of the goods, arrange the following articles in ascending and descending order. Again, what is the practical utility of WPI? Practical utility of CPI? How CPI is different from WPI? In WPI only goods are considered. In CPI both goods as well as services are considered. Again, CPI further indexes are there. CPI rural, CPI urban, CPI industrial worker, CPI agricultural laborer. So why we are using CPI-C as an anchor for monetary policy? How common man is getting impacted because of inflation, inflation tax, inflation premium, aggregate demand, aggregate supply. So Phillips curve, relationship between inflation and unemployment. So inflation targeting, 4% plus or minus 2%, Urjit Patel Committee. So, despite all these measures, why sometimes we are not able to control the inflation? So, if you look at previous year mains questions from inflation chapter, why food inflation is increasing in India? Why RBI's quantitative tools are not so effective in controlling food inflation? It's a very clever question. Food inflation is from agriculture, quantitative tools are from monetary policy. Examiner is testing holistic understanding of a candidate towards the exam. That's the reason why he asked combining two themes. Why? What are the causes for persistent food inflation in India? Why quantitative tools are not so effective controlling in food inflation? So this is the broader holistic framework of inflation chapter. So types of inflation indexes, types of goods, price theory, cost, demand, supply. So Veblen goods, inferior goods, Engel's law, Bennett's law. And if any current affairs aspect also comes, you have to add Operation Top, Operation Green, Cobb phenomenon. So recent proposal to shift towards PPA, Producer Price Index. A committee called Ramachan, Professor Ramachan committee was appointed to examine whether there's a possibility switch over from WPA to PPA, Producer Price Index. So for every topic, you need to cover the basic terminology. Along with that, there itself, current affairs related to that topic also, previous year prelims also, previous year mains questions also. So this is broadly what is expected of an aspirant from inflation chapter. Now coming to money and monetary policy, very very important for both prelims as well as mains. Barter system, types of money, evolution of money, animal money, token money, near money, dear money, hot money, cold money, hard money, soft money, legal tender money, fiduciary money, fiat money, CBDC, central bank digital currency, cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, stable coin, non-fungible token, like these various types of evolution of money. So why money got originated? What was the reason for money? What are the functions of the money? Why do we need money? And how money is influencing various policies? So monetary policy. For prelims, the word meaning is important. For mains, cryptocurrency can be a mains topic. Central bank digital currency can be a mains topic. And compare and contrast cryptocurrency with central bank digital currency also can be a mains topic. But related topic, monetary policy. How a central bank RBI adjusts monetary policy tools, quantitative tools and qualitative tools. Repo rate, reverse repo rate, CRR, SLR, MSF, SDF, open market operations, incremental CRR, all these are called quantitative tools of monetary policies of RBI. In simple, how money circulation is influencing demand, how money circulation is impacting prices. To control inflation, whether we should increase money supply or not, in what circumstances we should increase money supply, in what circumstances we will reduce money supply, different stances of monetary policy. So tight monetary policy, easy monetary policy committee. So who will be there in monetary policy committee? Why this monetary policy committee is important? Who decides repo rate? Who decides other policy rates? Fixed interest rate, floating interest rate, change in monetary policy rates, impact on money supply in the economy. So all these are the broader themes which are covered from money and monetary policy. I would say, is it important for prelims or mains? Answer is important for both prelims as well as for mains. Financial market. Next most important chapter. So what is market? Primary market, secondary market, capital market, money market. So types of market based on competition, perfect market, imperfect market, monopoly, duopoly, oligopoly, equity market, shares, types of shares, ESOPs, bonus shares. So equity shares, types of shares, preference shares. So share capital, market capitalization. So all these are part of stock market related terminology, bull, bear, Sensex, Nifty, all this. Coming to debt market, bond, debenture, types of bonds, masala bond, kangaroo bond, panda bond, electoral bonds, zero coupon bonds, junk bonds. So there are so many current affairs related bonds also, catastrophic bonds, sovereign gold bond, inflation indexed bond. So you need to understand correctly the meaning of the word. Bond yield, bond maturity, bond coupon rate. And mutual fund, systematic investment plan, net asset value, demat account. So stock market terminology, SEBI, Security Exchange Board of India, SAT, Securities Appellate Tribunal, insider trading, short selling. So how different stock markets are performing in the global market in a different way? How stock market is indicator of the financial health of a country? What is the relationship between stock market, GDP growth, a country's currency value? So why regular repeated scams in Indian stock market is a black mark on Indian financial health? How different people are perceiving FDI, FPI, foreign portfolio investment? So this is the basic understanding of financial market. Financial market, most of the questions are direct nature in prelims. This year prelims also question came, difference between share and bond, difference regarding maturity between bond and debenture, and which of the following comes under alternative investment fund. So financial market mainly, if you know the meaning of the term, and if you understand whether it is a equity term or debt term, and the related associated terminology, that will be very easy. So once we complete financial market, we will be studying something called banking and RBI. So again, banking and RBI is very much important for both prelims and mains. Bank, NBFC, deposits, different types of deposits, types of ATMs, trends in banking, types of banks. So public sector, private sector, scheduled, non-scheduled, developmental, commercial, cooperative, RRBs, Indian, foreign, small finance bank, payment bank, loans and advances, secure loans, unsecured loans, types of assets, standard, substandard, NPA, doubtful, bad assets, insolvency, bankruptcy code, bad bank, NPA crisis, bank amalgamation, merger and acquisition. So camel system, mission Indradhanush, checks and DDs, clearing mechanism, PSL, priority sector guidelines. So both important for prelims as well as mains. Coming to RBI, functions of RBI, specific monetary functions of RBI, M1, M2, M3, M4, reports released by RBI. So why RBI is called as bankers bank? Why RBI is called as custodian of forex reserves? So why RBI is called as central bank? Why RBI is called as banker to government? And RBI subsidiaries, RBI functions, RBI reports. So sometimes, so examiner might be asking for the current reports of RBI, or examiner might be asking static concept, minimum reserve system, how RBI prints currency. So what is the basis that we are following while printing currency? How RBI provides loans and advances to central government and state government, open market operations. So as a central bank, what are the various functions developed by RBI? In the recent times, reports released by RBI, all this. So this blocks the basic idea of first pillar for the economy. Second most important pillar for the economy, or I would call it as important for us in the process, is actually, which I call it as block 2. Regularly be reading in the newspaper about this terminology: taxation, fiscal policy, and budgeting. So this is the second most important pillar from which both prelims and mains questions are being repeated. So what is duty? What is tax? What is direct tax? What is indirect tax? Tax year, tax evasion, tax avoidance, assessment year. So tax havens, tax evasion, tax avoidance, tax holiday. What are the basic principles of taxation? How government generates income from taxes? All that we have to cover. Direct taxes, indirect taxes, progressive taxation, regressive taxation, Laffer curve. So what are the principles which are followed in direct taxes? What are the principles which are followed in indirect taxes? So direct taxes. So income tax, corporate tax, wealth tax, gift tax. So recent being current affairs, global minimum corporate tax, GAFA tax. So equalization tax, Google tax. Apart from that, recent BURF tax, SIN tax, Tobin tax, Pigovian tax, European Union Carbon Border Adjustment Mechanism, green tax, so sin tax. So all the direct taxes, capital gains tax, security transaction tax. What is the meaning of the term? How that is being imposed? How that is being collected? How government is getting the revenue from this? Several indirect taxes. Custom duty, countervailing duty, anti-dumping duty, excise duty, sales tax, value added tax, GST. So GST is very much important for prelims as well as mains. So all of you know GST 2.0 is being implemented from September 22nd. So what are the reason for GST? See, what is CGST, what is SGST, what is IGST? What is the comparison between VAT and GST? Why GST is called as one nation, one market, single point destination based tax? What is GST Appellate Tribunal? What is GST Council? What are the various GST slabs which are available earlier? Why government reduced them to just two slabs called 5 and 18%? And 101 CA Constitutional Amendment Act. What are the major changes that happened in GST implementation? NAPA, National Anti-Profiteering Authority. Apart from that, GST network, GST number. So, what are the positives, negative challenges associated with the GST? GST buoyancy. So, all these will be covered in taxation. Coming to fiscal policy. How government manages income and expenditure on behalf of the public is called as fiscal policy. Expansionary fiscal policy, contractionary fiscal policy. So budget consists of two type of accounts: capital account, revenue account, capital expenditure, revenue expenditure, capital receipt, revenue receipt, deficits, types of deficits, revenue deficit, fiscal deficit, effective revenue deficit, primary deficit, deficit financing. So in disinvestment, borrowing, external borrowing, internal borrowing. So rationalization of expenditure, all this will be covered in fiscal policy. We are also going to cover budget, types of budget, difference between budget and economic survey, sunrise budget, sunset budget, gender budget, green budget, performance budget, procedure of the budget that is followed. So rolling budget, so dark budget, also various terminology related to budget and fiscal policy. So such as fiscal prudence, fiscal discipline, so fiscal stimulus, fiscal consolidation, so fiscal slippage, finance commission, 14th finance commission, 15th finance commission, 16th finance commission, their criteria, horizontal devolution, vertical devolution. So how finance commission is, why finance commission is called as balancing wheel between center and state government? What is the criteria? Why South Indian state CMs are telling to have more number of children? Special category status, reasons, needs, implications, positives, challenges. So FRBM Act, Fiscal Responsibility and Budgetary Management Act. So once this block is done, when you read the budget document, when you read the economic survey document, most of the terminology you will be able to understand. And in fact, your clarity and your comprehensive knowledge about the budget will be improved. So once you read the paper, you will understand taxation, fiscal policy, budgeting more effectively. So these are broader prelims themes, broader mains themes. GST is a main themes, direct tax reforms is a main themes, different types of budget is a main theme, FRBM Act is a main theme, Finance Commission also is a main theme. Special category status being current affairs can be expected, which are main themes. Types of deficit financing, external borrowing, internal borrowing. So we need to cover both from prelims perspective as well as mains perspective. And if any current affairs related terminology comes, 16th Finance Commission, terms of reference of 16th Finance Commission, 16th Finance Commission members, we have to add. So this is called as block 2 for economy. Coming to block 3, which is very much important and which is so popular now because of Trump, so which we call it as external sector. Foreign trade, international economic organizations. So this block is so popular nowadays because of so many terminology related to it. Tariffs, trade war, open economy, closed economy, internal trade, external trade. So balance of payment, current account, capital account, BOT, BOTS, transfer payments, remittances. So BOP crisis in 1991, forex reserves, liberalized remittance system, currency exchange rate system, fixed exchange, floating exchange, managed floating, convertibility of rupee. So full convertibility, partial convertibility, why BOP crisis 1991 happened, why India's current account is always in deficit, why Trump is blackmailing India with such imposition of restriction of the tariffs, what is tariff war, what is currency war, what is trade war, dollarization, de-dollarization, internationalization of rupee. So this is the basic terminology which you are going to cover in this chapter called external sector. Main themes being internationalization of rupee, BOP crisis 1991, convertibility of rupee, so trade war, all that. Foreign trade, preferential trade agreement, FTA, CECA, CEPA, customs union, trade union, economic union, and India's recent trade agreements with various parts of the world. So positive list, negative list, all that. International economic organizations, regularly in prelims also and mains also, questions are being asked. World Bank, IMF, WTO, BRICS Bank, ADB, Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank. So I'm just giving a rough idea. In World Bank, what are the different wings? What are called as World Bank? What is called as World Bank Group? IBRD, IDA, IFC, MIGA, ICSID, International Monetary Fund, Special Drawing Rights, Quota System. So comparison of World Bank and IMF, WTO, TRIPS, TRIMS, Patent, Copyright, Trademark, GI, Agreement on Agriculture. So how WTO principles called most favored nation, national treatment, reciprocity are going to impact. So why did India become member of WTO? So what are the various mechanisms through which a country can protect itself? Openness of the economy versus protectionism. That is what the international debate that's going on around right now with respect to external sector. Again, reciprocity, most favored nation, national treatment, trade bloc, economic bloc. So this is the basic essence of third important pillar for economy called external sector. Now coming to fourth important pillar, which is crucial for mains. Every year minimum 3 to 4 mains questions are being asked is agriculture. If a student ignores agriculture, obviously he has to pay heavy price in the exam, because this year also 4 mains questions came. So 3 to 5 mains questions are coming directly from agriculture chapter, which means mains specific weightage is more for agriculture. What is expected of a student from agriculture? Normal common man how will he understand agriculture from various dimensions? Agriculture, so land, labor, seed, fertilizer, waters, organic farming, zero budget natural farming, APMC, ENOM, minimum support price, stubble burning, public distribution system, food processing industry, animal husbandry, WTO, AOA, agreement on agriculture. So agriculture related aspects, marketing, transportation. So apart from that, in agriculture, what are the challenges faced by farmers? Crop insurance, so water, irrigation, all agricultural inputs, loan waiver. So for every topic, so now both the Telugu states, we're discussing about deficiency of urea. So in fertilizer, we are going to cover urea-based subsidy, nutrient-based subsidy, neem-coated urea, sulfur gold or recent sulfur-coated urea. So all agriculture inputs we are going to cover: mechanization, transportation, green revolution, evergreen revolution, sustainable agriculture. So we'll be covering from economic aspect, overview of the entire agriculture, land reforms, why land reforms are successful in some areas, why land reforms are not so successful in some areas, problems in upstream and downstream marketing. So challenges faced by farmers in agricultural marketing. So what is the meaning of distress sale? Why farmer suicides are increasing? So these are a major broader themes which you are going to cover. See, for every theme, you should have an introduction, a fact sheet, 4 or 5 important core points, 2 3 related schemes, and finally current affairs data and what is your opinion about that particular issue. So this is brief idea about agriculture. In prelims also questions are asked from agriculture by giving a specific scheme. This scheme is implemented by which ministry? And what is the tagline of the scheme? What is the objective of the scheme? So what is the purpose of the scheme? Who are the beneficiaries of the scheme? Important for prelims also, important for mains also. Then next, specific to mains, but schemes are asked in prelims also. Industry. Here we are going to cover index of industrial production, core industries, purchase managers index. So, and every industry can be a separate mains question. Overall industrial reforms also can be a mains question. Industrial Policy Resolution 1948, 1956, 1977, 1980, 1991. Why some areas are industrialized? Why some areas are not industrialized? Semiconductor industry, toy industry, steel industry, manufacturing industry, textile industry, food industry, food processing industry, pharma industry. So any industry can be a separate mains question. Make in India, Startup India, Special Economic Zone, National Investment Manufacturing Zones, Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises. So India is popularly called as Office of the World. China is called as popularly Factory of the World. Our government is focusing on indigenous manufacturing. We are trying to develop our manufacturing capabilities. So what measures are taken by the government to improve these manufacturing capabilities? Investment models. So public-private partnership. Why should we permit public-private partnership? Bharat Domar model. So secondary sector model, multi-dimensional model. So different types of public-private partnership: build, operate, transfer, operate, maintain, transfer, toll, operate, transfer. What are the factors which influence investment? So all this will be covered in this particular block called as agriculture, industry, investment block. And most important block for the exam, so where very much important for the exam is poverty unemployment. So if a candidate does not study properly in UPSC preparation, finally he has to experience one chapter. That chapter is called as poverty and unemployment. What is the definition of poverty? What is World Bank definition of poverty? What is our government definition of poverty? Poverty based on calories, poverty based on per capita expenditure, poverty based on livelihood, poverty based on multiple dimensions, poverty based on deprivation, poverty based on various aspects. Unemployment. What is the definition of unemployment? What are the types of unemployment? Seasonal unemployment, classical unemployment, technical unemployment, reasons for unemployment. Why, despite 70 years of India's independence, we are not able to reduce poverty and unemployment? What are the various welfare policies started by the government? Poverty estimation indicators, unemployment indicators. So poverty estimation indicators: Gini coefficient, SANE index, head count ratio, so capability approach. So these are called as poverty estimation indexes. So this is the basic idea, but concepts are important for prelims as well as mains. In mains, schemes are asked. Then planning and Niti Aayog. In the recent times, if you observe, for the last 10 years, importance of planning got decreased, but importance of Niti Aayog got increased. So compare and contrast planning commission with Niti Aayog, top to bottom approach, bottom to top approach, Niti Aayog indexes, Niti Aayog departments, Niti Aayog reports. So compare and contrast planning commission with Niti Aayog recommendations. So all these are being asked. Purely mains topic, nowadays most of the questions are being asked from Niti Aayog. Structure of Niti Aayog, reports released by Niti Aayog, suggestions of Niti Aayog. So Team India wing, Knowledge India wing, pillars of Niti Aayog, all that. Then regular repeated topic for mains. However, surprisingly this year no question was asked in the mains is infrastructure, roadway, railway, aviation, so port infrastructure, energy security. Regularly they used to ask one question from infrastructure, either from roadway, railway, aviation, port infrastructure, all that. But surprisingly this year no question. So we should be ready to face any type of questions in the exam. And last important topic that we are going to study is service sector. In some books it's not separately dealt, but service sector is so important because India is primarily service sector growth economy, IT enabled services, tourism, hospitality. So India is popularly called as favorite destination for medical tourism, spiritual tourism, all. So just to summarize, if you cover all these units, both from prelims and mains perspective, along with the terminology, current affairs, contemporary data, and I would advise the students that immediately after a micro topic is over, you have to make your short notes, revision notes, try to solve previous year prelims questions, try to get the correct done by previous year mains questions. Write the previous year mains questions, submit to the faculty, get it done. So this is what is required holistically for an aspirant to get mastery over a subject called economy. It is not difficult. You should have right attitude and you should have right approach. The subject seems to be very easy only. The moment you try to by heart, the subject tries to become difficult. However, it is not at all difficult at all. It is very easy, simple only. It should be studied in a logical way. It should be remembered by interconnecting the things. So this is all briefly about economy orientation for UPSC, both for prelims purpose as well as for mains purpose. So till your GS classes begin, you may just note down the terminology which you are coming across in the newspaper and try to get to know the meaning of the term. So anything else you want to ask, you can ask. Online students, Bhargavi, Monica, anything you want to ask? Book list. You want to become deputy collector or you want to become collector here, but you should not want to become book collector. So I don't want you to become book collector. I want to become district collector. I want you to become district collector. Don't worry about book list right now. Because once again I am saying, the most standard book will be your class notes. If you buy the book also, you may not be in a position to understand right now. So I won't advise the book right now, but if you still want, you can take NCERT gist, which is available in the market. First, try to cover NCERT gist, terms and concepts. As classes commences, regularly once a topic is over and a class notes is given, then you can think of buying the book. Because after class is over, you will listen to the concept. Then if you read the book, you will understand. Right now, directly if you buy a book and if you try to read it, you may not comprehend it. Unnecessarily, books are so much complicated. And once again, in any book from first page to last page, it is not important for our exam. So I would suggest right now, you can take NCERT, Indian Economy Summary, MAG book by Arihant Publications, which all concepts are explained in a clear-cut manner. Once your economy classes commences, later you can think of buying any book. But right now, not advisable. NCERT summary, basic terminology is enough. Okay, dear? Hope all your questions are answered. Now you got rough idea about what is economy, what is there in economy, what is the approach towards economy, what are the various chapters in economy. So I hope I gave a rough idea about economy importance in prelims, economy importance in mains, what are the core areas supposed to be covered, what are prelims expected themes, what are mains expected themes, what is the weightage in prelims, what is the weightage in mains. So don't worry for books, just wait for some time. At appropriate time when I suggest, then you can buy. Okay? That's all. So thank you. Have a nice day. So hope session was useful for all of you to get a rough idea about economy preparation and economy weightage, important for prelims, important for mains, topics, relevance, how a candidate idea and approach should be towards the subject. Okay? Thank you. Thank you all.